Hi Nick, Phil Beever here from the Wilderness Club. Just want to recap on our lesson yesterday. So quite impressed with the backswing now, starting to get there quite well. Oh, yeah. Okay, I forget you're a lefty, sorry. Okay, so if we look at a couple of bits here, if we look at your takeaway compared to Justin Rose here on the right, if we run through yours, you're going to see your hands go slightly outside this red line. So you're taking the club head away from the ball. We can see that evidently there, and we can see it here as well. That club head's moved to the right of that line. If we look at Rose for me here on the right, you'll see that his hands stay inside that red line. Okay, even if I draw a slightly straighter line, there we go. Okay, we'll still see that his hands stay inside that line. It's very important that will keep your posture a little bit better, and it will start the sequence of the downswing slightly sharper. When we get to the top of the swing, if we was to stop there, you're starting to look quite tidy. I mean, if we look at Rose there, we can see his left arm and wrist is nice and flat, and we can see there yours is getting there. It's not perfect still, because we can see your club face is in a slightly different position to Justin here at the top. You know, yours is a little bit more open than his, but we just need to keep trying to flatten that wrist, and we are starting to get there. Okay. The next thing is, so takeaway work on that for me, keep working on the wrist, is your hips. Now your hips for me tend to spin just a little bit too quick. So as you start down, everything's rotating, and what that's doing, that's getting your lower half a little bit stuck. So if we look at your right knee, we can see that it disappears now. I can't see it anymore. Okay, if we look at Justin's right knee, okay, I'd say it's about that frame. He loses a frame, doesn't he? So even if it was there, okay, I think he goes one more than that, but just because it's not perfectly synced. But if we draw some lines there and we draw a line there, we can see that his hands on his body are slightly lower than yours, and we're talking fractionally, Nick, but it's massively important that you can hold that left hip back, because that's going to change again your spine angle. So when you come into it here, look how crunched and hunched you look here. You completely lost your spine there. It's not straight anymore, it's curved. Okay, if we look at Rose, because he lets his arms fall down before his hips really clear, once he comes into impact there, for me his spine's pretty straight. So that's what we're working on. So I want you to hold that hip back and do it that way for me. So you can either swing to the top, stop, count 1, 2, and then hit it from there. You can put the alignment stick through your belt loops just to give you that feeling of holding them hips back. Now you're not going to hit it great doing this drill, and most of the balls are going to go this side of the screen, you know, to the left. That's normal. That means you're going to get a little bit more underneath it. But if them hips hold back, and then I can start to get your chest to turn, we'll be back in business. So get that takeaway coming a little bit more on the inside. Get that right wrist bowed a bit more at the top. Okay, and then from there work on the hips, and we should see a huge improvement. Thank you, Nick.